morning we have Reverend James Murphy with us, and he's going to give us our invocation.
Shall we pray? Father God, we humbly come before the throne of grace this hour as we begin these proceedings. Father, we'd ask that your blessing would be upon this commission. We pray, Father, that you would impart upon them wisdom and discernment as they handle the matters of the county. Father, we pray that you would have a hand of protection over our law enforcement officers, our first responders, and all the fine people in the county of Nicholas, in the state of West Virginia, in this great country that we're so thankful that you've seen to bless. And Father, we ask for your continued blessings throughout the years to come, and for all that you've done and all that you're about to do. We give thanks in Jesus' name, and amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, sir.
Appreciate you.
Okay, ready to go, Bob?
Recording in progress.
Okay, good morning, everybody. This is August the 6th, Wednesday, 2025, and we'll officially bring this meeting to order. And if you gentlemen would like to begin.
I'd like to make a motion to review and waive the reading and approve the July 16, 2025 minutes as presented.
There's a motion on the floor. Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion has carried.
Upon review of the exonerations as presented by the Nicholas County Assessor, make a motion to approve accordingly.
There's a motion on the floor. Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion is carried.
Upon review of the state fiduciary matters as presented by the Nicholas County Clerk, I move to approve accordingly unless otherwise noted.
There's a motion on the floor. Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion is carried.
Upon submission of budget revisions received from elected officials and department heads, make a motion to take appropriate action as deemed necessary.
There's a motion on the floor. Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion is carried.
Upon review of invoices as submitted by various departmental offices, the commission will take the appropriate action as deemed necessary.
There's a motion on the floor. Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion is carried. Terms of office expiring. Nicholas County Parks and Recreation Commission filled the unexpired term of Jessica Taylor with a term of office expiring October 15, 2026.
I'd like to nominate Roger Ridgway for that position.
Who is that?
He's he worked with Forest Service. He actually showed up for our last meeting. He's a mapper for them and retired out. So he showed an interest.
Where's he?
Craigsville, right by.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Okay.
He's gonna have outfitted arms up there in off-season.
Okay, there's a motion on the floor. Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Roger Ridgway. I'll get his information for you.
There's also an unexpired term of Michelle Underwood that would expire October 15, 2027. Do we have any nominations for that?
Now, Steve Burkholder's been sitting in as the interim fair president, so we're gonna try to figure that one out and see if he's interested or pull somebody else in. Takes an
He'll
interest.
be here in a little while.
Just has the figures. Just figured to give it a little bit of time. That's it.
Okay,
Yeah.
Nicholas County Fire Board, we have an opening there that will be expiring February 6, 2027. Anybody on that? Still table that one?
Make a motion to table the appointments of the term of office for Parks and Recreation, Michelle Underwood, and the Fire Board of Angie Evans.
There's a motion on the floor. Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion has carried.
Should the health department not be on the agenda?
Yes, it was supposed to be.
Well, I guess it's not on there, so, okay. We make sure we get the health department on the next agenda, please. The,
Yeah, they put a request
one
in the shop.
vacancy?
Yes,
One vacancy.
right. Okay, moving on. It's 9:10. Let's take about a 5-minute break, make sure everybody gets here. Okay, welcome back. We're here for our 9:10 appointment, and this is about the estate of Oscar Tharp, Fiduciary Commissioner's decision. Who will be speaking in this matter?
That would be me, Your Honor. Scott Kaminsky on behalf of the heirs of Oscar Tharp. Michael Tharp is the president personal of the votes.
Your attorney?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And Scott, I'm sure. Anybody else? Okay. All right, who wants to begin? Scott, do you want to give us your report first, or do you want to let him talk?
Well, I've gave a written report, and I'm sure Mr. Comiskey's got a copy of that. And that is my report. It's in as much detail as I can put it. I have nothing else to add.
Okay.
Can you give an overview, please?
I feel that Mr. Tharp, perhaps very unknowingly, transferred that money into the name of Mrs. Tharp. He did so. Every report we have, when we got the police report, said that he was of sound mind and body, knew what he was doing, did so intentionally. And once that money was placed into her name, although it's obvious from the, I've read the deposition, I read everything in this file, including the deposition, that she knew she was violating his express wishes. That was very obvious to me. She was the person that actually said she wrote the will. So as much as it pained me, I feel that it was legally transferred to her. And once it was legally transferred to her, she could legally take it. And so I don't see anything in the law, and I hope Mr. Comiskey proves me wrong, but I don't see anything in the law that would say anything other than there's no money in the estate for the heirs, as was obviously intended by Mr. Tharp when he wrote the will and made his wishes clear to everyone. So that is basically what I came to. I hope Mr. Comiskey, if the commission accepts that, I hope Mr. Comiskey has a good appeal to a circuit court, because I think this is a problem in law. So.
And so first of all, let me state that we appreciate the work that Mr. Stanton did. Very difficult set of circumstances with the passage of time, the number of attorneys that had been involved over the years. COVID intervened and put delay on this. A prior fiduciary commissioner conducted a hearing, and then the testimony was not preserved and lost. So he was tasked with a very difficult proposition, and he did the very best he could, and we appreciate that. Obviously, on behalf of the heirs, I need to state my objections to the findings for the very reasons that Mr. Stanton stated. The intent of Mr. Tharp was clear. There's no question that he intended specific requests go to a number of his heirs. And we believe that the evidence was that Mr. Tharp was not of sound mind when he went to the bank to make those various transfers. The bank records, I think, are part of the record. You can see that his signature is quite suspect. None of the bankers involved were available subsequent to testify, to provide evidence as to whether or not he was of sound mind when he made those transactions, transferring or adding Mrs. Tharp as a co-tenant, if you will, on those bank accounts. So with that said, we are here to note and preserve our objections to Mr. Stanton's report so that we can properly preserve our right to appeal to the circuit court upon this body's findings. If it would, being that Mr. Tharp and Ms. Willis are here, I'd like to take some brief testimony so that we can preserve the record as to what their recollections were of Mr. Tharp's state of mind at the relevant time back in late December of 2015, if I may.
Mr. President, can I ask legal counsel's opinion on that? Sure. Legal counsel, do you have an advisory to the commission on taking testimony?
I would not do it at this juncture to be done in circuit court. This whole matter has been going on for almost 9 years, and it's time to have a conclusion. I agree with what Scott said. I think his findings need to be adopted, ratified, and confirmed by the commission, and when send it upstairs, that's where this is going to be litigated. It should not be litigated here.
We kind of have to listen to our counsel.
I completely understand that, please just know
With
my
respect.
rejection.
Right.
Certainly, that's everything with all due respect, please.
Absolutely.
Is there anything you guys got?
Make a motion to accept the recommendation and the findings of the Special Fiduciary Commissioner.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor. Any discussion?
No, sir.
Okay, it is, at this time, we have a motion to accept the findings of Scott Stanton, who is an attorney, a retired attorney, that has delved into this. I really hate this. I hope you guys put me upstairs because I know, that just like I agree with you guys, 100%. And I've known this family my whole life. So we have a motion on the floor. Is there any discussion? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Motion has carried.
Thank you all very much.
Thank you all for your time.
Appreciate you.
Okay, we're back with Mrs. Lisa Strader from Visit Southern West Virginia, our annual report.
Here. Hey guys. So this was 24s and going into 25. Just give you guys a copy. I know we emailed them, but just wanted to make sure everybody had a copy of those. And then this is our latest financial audit. Just had this happen. I'm getting it mixed up. So just to do just a quick update, we are continuing our promotion of Southern West Virginia as a region. We have one thing new that we did this year was we did hire a specific employee that handles our social media and our website. We've created a new website, which things are changing very rapidly in that space because of AI. Impressions used to not mean anything, but now the impressions do because people are reading and not clicking. So we are doing a lot of work to stay relevant in our field online. And she also has been really good about being out and about and going to all the counties. I think you'll see in our annual report that our biggest our most successful post for 24 was in Nicholas County, and she's been doing a lot of summer footage on that as well. Something new that we started that kicked off in late May, early June, so it's been out there a couple months, was our passports. Very similar to the waterfall trail or the something where you can just check in and get prizes. The first one that we did was the Raleigh Fayette Nicholas. So far, we have had 461 check-ins in Nicholas County off of this one. And the check-ins are downtown Summersville, Golly River Pottery, Long Point Trail, and Summersville Lake, Carnifex Ferry, and the murals in downtown Richwood. These people have came from a lot of West Virginia, because that's where we pushed it out first. But we've had people from Alabama, Delaware, Florida, Kentucky, Maine, Maryland, Michigan, Jersey, North Carolina, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Texas, Tennessee, Virginia, all check-in in Nicholas County. The second passport that we have operational now is our Brews and Booze trails. We've had 160 check-ins between, this one hasn't been out as long. This one came out first. It's been out about a month, and they came between Goddamn Brewing, Isaiah Morgan, and Kirkwood. We've had 160 check-ins at those locations. So that's something new that we feel like a more interactive passport than the one we had in print prior. We may circle back around and also put this in print, but we have 2 more passports to go to get our other 6 counties going. Some of the things that we do is obviously when they check in, they get prizes. They get to choose. We have coins. We have the Summersville Lake coin. These were things that went with our regular passport. We just needed to find a way to make them more interactive. We did stickers, posters, t-shirts, and I did bring you an example of the poster. We had Basecamp Printing in Charleston put it out. It shows the multiple locations that are checked in on. So we have Summersville Lake, Carnifex Ferry, and Golly River Pottery on this one. And these were the stickers, very similar to the poster. So that was something new we kicked off this year. This was a copy of our visitor's guide that came out in May. And then again, that will be in circulation until the following May. We print 100,000 of those each year, and we make sure that they are distributed not only through our requests, but we put them in all the hotels, motels, travel plazas, and all the locations. We still, of course, our visitor center is still inside of Tamarack, which is a very great location as far as the traveling public. And yeah,
Do you have some more that you can leave?
I have a whole box.
Leave some?
Yes, I'll bring them in. What we have coming up immediately is the state fair. We do set up a booth at the fair. We will be representing all of our areas, taking the Greater Summersville brochures with us. I know Tracy's no longer there. I'm not sure if they've hired anybody yet. So we're just gonna, she went with us last year, so we're just taking the stuff this year. Then we have the Spartan race, which will be the World Spartan this year. In the past, this has booked rooms from Nicholas County to Fayette County to Raleigh County. This one should be bigger, however, we'll see how it goes because they are doing their Parade of Nations in Charleston before they come here. So I'm hoping that those people will still do their Parade of Nations and come here. That, if this goes off well, this will be in every other year. This is the first year it's been in America. It's typically in Sparta, Greece. So they're going to have it in Sparta, Greece every other year. And in those off years, we'll go back to having the traffic that we normally have in August. So those are the things in our immediate, that's coming up now. So when I mentioned that we redid our website, one of the things that we did incorporate into our website, if somebody goes in and they have our region and it's very clickable, if you go to Nicholas County to get more information, it's only going to show you Nicholas County. It's only going to show you Nicholas County events. It's going to show you anything we have listed in Nicholas County and that was something we've never been able to, we didn't have before. You could, it was in there, but it was, this is very specific per county. So, all right, any questions? Oh, and we did have a map in progress with Greater Summersville CDB that we were going to do where we have ours on one side and Nicholas County on the other. It has not been finished yet. She was working on her side, so as soon as I get somebody in there, we'll complete that project.
No, when you do like your QR codes and things like that, where you said do you use words like Summersville, not Nicholas County, that it'll pick it up, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because you just say Nicholas County, people just know so much.
Yes, I know. And that's what, I've mentioned before, we just have to get their attention, so we look and see what that is. And, I know the lake is what draws people here. The new state park has obviously been of interest to people just because we haven't had a new state park in so long. We did send, like I said, I have our social media girl, she did go out there and tour it and did some things there. So we've just been really trying to stay on top. It's really nice to have somebody designated to that because it was always us just trying to fit it in. And she's done incredible. She's doubled our Instagram following, doubled our TikTok following, and raised our Facebook following by about 36%.
Wow.
In a year. So
Wow.
yeah, she's impressive.
So we have just secured a partnership with the Bigfoot Festival.
Uh-huh.
We'll be hosting that at Veterans Memorial Park on the October 9th to the 11th of next year.
Awesome.
We'd definitely like to blow that out. There's anticipation of up to 25,000 people. So we're working with the CVB, the Chamber, and hopefully you guys to get some marketing out there and pull some folks in. That's going to be the statewide booth for Braxton County down here. So we've got that contract signed already.
Yeah, that's exciting. Well, you let me know what we need to do for that. We'll have advertise it, market it, if there's any like materials that need done or sponsorship. So let us know.
Yeah, anything you guys can do, any suggestions you have on that to make it as big as we can get it. I think it's
Yeah.
going to be good for Nicholas County.
Where was it this year?
Sutton.
Sutton,
Sutton.
okay.
Yeah, they were Holly Great Park.
Awesome.
I think you went to.
I knew I saw something about it and it wasn't in our area. So
Right.
yeah, that's very exciting. Okay.
So thank you to your staff for everything you do. We appreciate it.
As soon as we get the new person in Summersville, we'll hook up with them and get the projects that we had started done. And I will leave these.
I was looking for that. So you didn't
I will
take
leave
it.
that, no.
Yeah.
I will leave it. And I'll bring a box in and just leave it out here.
Thank you.
Okay? Thank you,
Appreciate it.
guys.
Thanks for coming.
Okay.
Appreciate it. Okay, let's take about a 3-minute break. Okay, good morning again. We are here at, I guess my request, for an acknowledgement, what's my word on this? A thank you, or an
Appreciation.
acknowledgement, an appreciation to some of the folks that had to do with putting on our fair. So I'd like to start, let everybody be recognized around the room. Steve, start with you.
Steve Postervik,
And you're with the board, fair board. and that's
Vice
what you-
President, Nicholas County Fair.
Linda Hayes, Fair Board.
Rachel Marsh with the Nicholas County Fair Board.
Alicia Clark with the Nicholas County Fair Board.
McKinley Stapleton, the Nicholas County Fair team.
Steve Burkholder, Nicholas County Fair President.
Okay.
Vanessa Stapleton, McKinley's mom.
Chase.
Like the ship, I work at the park. Grant Donaldson, work at the park.
Sally Stover, Park Manager.
Angie Groves on the Nicholas County Fair Board.
Yep.
Chief Nolan, Nicholas County Sheriff Falls.
Sheriff Johnny Evans.
Jason O'Neill, Nicholas County Sheriff's Department.
Where's the other one?
We need a bigger meeting than go.
Say your name.
Okay, we would just like to say thank you. We'd like to say thank you for different reasons. Thank you for your leadership, Steve, and putting this on and what you did. Thank you for the board, what you did. Thank you for the staff at the park that, we heard nothing about any clashes or anything like that. If there was, don't tell us about it, but we're glad, everybody got along. We thank you for the security and Jason for sweating like he did. The deputies, you guys, we didn't hear any incidents, we didn't hear anything. We think your presence did more than probably anything, just being there. Everywhere you looked, one of you guys were. And we appreciate that. We appreciate what all you did and what all you do. And we appreciate you. I'm sure you were there every night.
Yeah.
And suffered through it all. So, but from us as a commission, we just want to say thank you, and for the memorializing and dedication also was to Michelle. That meant a lot too. So we really appreciate your efforts, your volunteerism. Everybody got along. Anita, she's not here. She's the only one who got to stay cool through the whole thing. But we just want to say thank you. So,
We also want to thank you guys for coming up, working the gate for us, and the city officials also for working the gate for us, and for letting the deputies and stuff come up. It was just an outstanding performance by those guys.
yes, it was.
And they don't know how much we appreciate that.
And as much as we suffered through the heat, it was still fun.
It was.
So,
And the county elected officials sold more tickets than the city elected officials. I don't care what they say.
We might have to go count on that, I'm not sure.
We had to pull the mayor back from Route 19 trying to beat us, but he finally come back to the.
but it wasn't
eventually.
only quantity, it was quality. We
That's
took
right.
time to talk.
Right.
So, and we didn't see any city cops up there helping. did we?
Yes, we did.
Oh, did we?
I bet there was more deputies too.
Can you edit that out? Okay, Gary?
No, it's just a lot of hard work that goes into putting on a fair. I don't think people understand the cost, the work, the fact that you guys are working a year to get this thing ready. You get a month off and then you got to start right back to the board meetings. I know there's a lot of folks, 99.9% of the folks I heard, they enjoy it, they love it. And you guys put a lot of hard work into it, and I think people need to really understand that part of it. I mean, a lot of work goes into it. It's not just, the 4 or 5 days of the fair, it's a year's worth of fundraising, making sure that you guys are, raise as much money as you can to put back into the fair and making this as good a time as they can. And I'm sure your guys' salary is commensurate to the amount of work you put into it with the board members, which is zero. Right.
Right.
Anyways, definitely appreciate it. A lot of hard work goes into it, a lot of hard work, a lot of passion, and it went seamlessly and flawlessly this year. As it has. So I definitely appreciate it.
How did you do with attendance numbers?
We actually sold probably another 1,200 tickets than we did the previous year, so I think we did okay. We haven't got a final count of what the money was and everything, but we think it's all right for sure. We do want to thank the community also for, the people in the community just give to us like you wouldn't believe, and that's outstanding. we couldn't do it without them, really.
It was good. It was really good.
Just know that your efforts don't go unnoticed. It's a lot of work.
We had to bring you on here, but we just want to recognize
Right, officially.
Appreciate it.
I was on the fair board actually when the times were bad and it was inflatables and no rides and didn't know if it was going to make it and probably should have stuck around longer than I did, but that's on me. But appreciate the board, really truly. Angie, you've been there for a long time now. You know, this is not an easy thing, and it's a real pleasure just to see it build back up, thriving, surviving. We've hit 100 years. And Steve's already dedicated to stick around for all the way up to year 200. I heard that off the record, but I'll place it on the record here.
Voluntold, right?
Clerk Painter, make
Voluntold.
sure to put that in the minutes, please. And we just appreciate everybody, and especially Steve for stepping up in bad circumstances to make sure everything kept going.
Your contract's waiting over in the clerk's office. It's signed up.
It's in the minutes.
it. All right, thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Appreciate you guys.
Thank you all.
Thank you, guys.
And can you, see you for a second? Okay,
We'll go off the
thank you.
record.
Yeah, we can shut that. Okay, we're back. Andrea Cook, project coordinator for the Nicholas County Intervention Coalition, could not be here today. So we have Craig Presser. Presser.
I'm still new, that's good.
He is going to read a proclamation of Nicholas County going purple.
Thank you. Appreciate you allowing us to come in. We're honored to join you on behalf of, there's a bunch of us here. Camera can't pick us all up, but we're honored to join you on behalf of the Hope Dealer Project, which was founded in 2015, and the West Virginia Goes Purple movement, which was launched in 2023. West Virginia Goes Purple is a unified statewide initiative to raise awareness about substance use, reduce stigma, and support recovery, especially during National Recovery Month in September. In 2023, West Virginia began its journey to make history as the first state in the nation to officially unite all 55 counties under one recovery movement, Going Purple Together. Now, this movement is led by founder and executive director Tara Mason, who officially launched the statewide campaign in 2023 with endorsements from former Governor Justice and the U.S. senators at the time. And as a born and raised diehard mountaineer, Tara's passion is deeply rooted in reclaiming our state's identity. That's taking our state back from the label of having the highest overdose rate in the nation. The mission is to shift the narrative so that West Virginia is no longer known for tragedy, but for being the first state in U.S. history to unite all counties, in our case, West Virginia's case, 55 counties, in recovery, awareness, and hope. This initiative isn't about one organization. It's about communities such as ours, counties, individuals coming together to break the silence, save lives, and celebrate recovery. So purple lights, purple ribbons, community events, and outreach efforts help us start those conversations that can change outcomes. Every purple display becomes a beacon of hope. The proclamation that Nicholas County is signing today, our commissioners are signing today, is more than symbolic. It's a statement of solidarity and a commitment to healing, education, and prevention. We invite everyone to celebrate in September by lighting homes, schools, offices, landmarks in purple, sharing recovery stories, wearing purple, and engaging on social media throughout September. So at this point, I'd like to read the proclamation that you're going to be signing here in a little bit, if that's okay. All right. So whereas National Recovery Month is held every September to increase awareness and understanding of mental and substance use disorders, and to celebrate those in recovery for their strength and perseverance. And whereas the color purple has been used to symbolize the struggle taking place in communities across the country as individuals, families, healthcare providers, and law enforcement agencies face the growing crisis of opioid abuse. And whereas the Nicholas County Goes Purple movement was founded by Tara Mason, founder and executive director of the Hope Dealer Project, to raise awareness and to support, inspire, and empower those affected by substance use disorder. And whereas Nicholas County Goes Purple is an awareness campaign focused on prevention, treatment, and recovery resources available in the community. and will emphasize the role local agencies play in combating this epidemic. And whereas Nicholas County Goes Purple strives to promote conversations around the dangers of substance misuse and abuse, and encourages the community to take a stand against it. Now therefore, I, D. Craig Chapman, President of the Nicholas County Commission in the state of West Virginia, do hereby proclaim the month of September 2025 to be Nicholas County Goes Purple in the County of Nicholas, and call upon the people of Nicholas County to observe this month with appropriate programs, activities, and ceremonies. The Nicholas County Commission encourages its communities to wear purple, light up your homes or businesses with purple lights, tie a purple ribbon on your tree, fence, or door, make a Purple Heart display, or get creative and display purple another way. In witness whereof, I, D. Craig Chapman, President of the Nicholas County Commission, has hereunto set his hand and caused the seal of Nicholas County, West Virginia, to be affixed this 6th day of August, 2025. And that's our proclamation word. And as you can see, Nicholas County has a wealth of community members who are engaged and serious about taking, moving the needle on the opioid abuse and opioid misuse and opioid addiction problem here, not only in Nicholas County, but in the state of West Virginia. This is just a small sampling of the support that can be found throughout the community and the county, we appreciate your willingness to recognize this and join in with the other states across the other counties across the state that have joined this initiative.
I'll make a motion to approve the proclamation of Nicholas County Goes Purple for the month of September 2025 as presented and read.
Okay, there's a motion on the floor. Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion has carried.
Thank you.
Test his signature.
Anybody else have anything to add to?
I just have one thing.
Michaela.
I'm Michaela. I discovered this through Tara. I met her on Facebook. But we have 5 counties remaining. And if you need the map to help me get those other 5 counties, I will gladly get you that map. We also have a couple in the surrounding states, like a couple recovery centers who have started it up in their counties and other states. Our goal is to light the Capitol purple for September. So we need more support for that. And also, if you look around your community today, especially Courthouse, Davenport, Seneca, Camden, all these places, you'll see these little purple ribbons of all the people who actually support people in recovery. And the goal is just to show that we have a safe county for people to come back to and enjoy their recovery. That's all. Oh, and I need a picture after this with the proclamation.
Wide angle lens.
Yeah.
We have a convention this weekend with the state auditor, which is mandatory training for all counties. If you get us those 5 counties, we should be able to talk to those folks.
I will get those to you. Thank you. I can run those back up, actually.
Okay, anybody else? Well, we thanks everybody for coming and showing up, and thank you for reading it so we didn't have to.
Thank you.
I ran out of juice there about half.
Very.
Okay, and here it is, all signed again.
I'll sign and see.
You should probably
Yeah,
go
after
out front.
Take a break.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we're gonna be here.
You wanna go out on the steps? Okay, we're back. It's a little after 10 at the request of Commissioner Cole concerning USDA Reconnect Grant. We have lovely Miss Melissa O'Brien and
Oh, no, I'm a different appointment. But my name is Grace.
Good morning to you too. Thanks for being part of the team.
We're on T-shirt broadband.
Yeah.
Very good.
I'm ready.
we are also joined on Zoom by Amanda Smart and Eric Price. Okay, let's begin.
So,
Ms. O'Brien?
Eric sent out an email saying, where are we at? We've been waiting on USDA for quite a long time, and Eric got worked out in our favor pretty good, I believe, because the same day at 7 o'clock, we finally received from the USDA the closing documents for the Rural Utilities Service Reconnect Program, Obviously, I have a few questions here, but Eric and Melissa, if you all actually want to explain where we're at.
Yeah, I think first, remind everybody what it is, because
Right.
it has been forever. So mid-January, we had the official announcement of the Nicholas County Commission's award of the Reconnect grant. It's almost a $25 million grant, almost 2,500 households impacted by that, so very, very significant. So kudos to you guys for taking the initiative and getting that award. It's a 50-50 loan grant combination, which we can talk about here in just a little bit. But finally, after I've been working with the USDA State Director John Reisenweber, Eric had been pushing on Richard Jenkins, so we finally, many months later, got to the point that we could get to the agreement, which I think that is what John Stump is reviewing for you guys. Our attorney, Jonathan Dean, is reviewing it from our aspect because it does have some different implications from the first time that we thought about this, because it was awarded as a co-awardee, which changes some of the language. So our attorney is reviewing that as well. Mr. Dean and Mr. Stump have worked together before, so when they can get together, they'll look at that and make any changes. But I think John Stump has made some recommendations to you guys to approve pending legal counsel today, so you can talk about that further. But exciting first steps. I think Amanda can talk about things from their perspective, and I think Eric want to kind of give you some next steps. I think that some things are streamlining. For instance, environmental, it's an all aerial project, and for using existing pole lines, it cuts out the need for SHPO. So there's a few things like that will expedite things. So Eric and Amanda can talk about next steps and their roles at those next steps.
Yep, so I'll jump in there and let you know that the environmental species lists have been sent over to USDA, so we'll see what they need following that, but they've got everything that they've requested for the environmental at the moment. So we will keep an eye on that and make sure that they don't need any additional information, but they've got everything that they've requested up to this point on the environmental species list.
Yep, and next steps from us, once we get the agreement all fully executed and everything, I am currently working on a request to do in-house engineering work. So CityNet will be handling the engineering work. It's just a quick formality. Once the agreement's in place, then we'll start scheduling the work, do the field work, and get the permitting and everything going. So it's in the legal hands right now. Once that's done, I think we're ready to get rolling.
I do want to add something there. Amanda was talking about the species list. We went ahead and started working. Eric's been doing some work. Region 4 has been doing that, so we felt very confident. They gave us pretty good confidence that this was definitely going to happen. So we didn't have to sit and wait on today and get those legal documents. Both entities went ahead and started working, so we can be ready and proactively, so it doesn't continue to take us long. And Garrett, you had asked me the other night, Sunday evening, when we talked to the timeline. So Reconnect's a 5-year. They are pretty lenient if there's extensions and things like that needed. So I want to make sure that I followed up with you on that. But I think so. Now it's back with your guys' hands. Like I said, Mr. Deem is our attorney. John Stump is yours. I think he's gone this week. I think it's some of the reason he hadn't had time to review that. So, Amanda, did you talk to John any further to give them any other conversation points?
So the information that we provided Commissioner Cole yesterday is the most up-to-date information that we've received from Mr. Stump. He is reviewing those documents. He was on the road Monday and yesterday of this week, so he does intend to review those documents, but hasn't had a chance to review those thoroughly yet. But his recommendation was to approve everything contingent upon legal review and comment.
Of course, these are largely a conversation with Mr. Stump, I guess, with checking those, but a few questions that I have is thank you for the update on environmental. That was a big emphasis, of course, with being federal money. I guess that's a standard thing. The permitting, Eric, is that DOH? What all does that entail? Because honestly, I haven't done that yet.
Yeah, so you'll have the DOH permitting, which we can't even really get started until some prints are put together. So that's kind of the secondary stage of the permitting. First and foremost, it's going to be pole permitting. That's the big deal. So we're going to be going on existing power poles, utility poles. So on this project, we'll be working with First Energy and Frontier primarily to attach to their existing poles. So, once the field work is underway and we know what poles we're attaching to, then that is, that process of pole permitting, runs concurrently as engineering is underway. So you'll start to see the pole permitting, documents. You'll be copied on emails. We'll have, progress reports, meetings, and you'll be able to see the status of all that. I mean, there's other permitting, if we've got railroad that we've got to go across or anything like that. I don't know that, I guess there is some railroads that will have probably some of that. That's pretty much going to be the extent of the permitting.
Okay.
I will add to that, Eric mentioned meeting. So this is our 4th Reconnect project, so we have a pretty good handle on Reconnect projects and their way of doing things. But typically, though, we have a weekly meeting with the USDA. So I'm sure once this gets in the flow of things, Richard Jenkins will set up that meeting, and you guys will be invited to that weekly meeting, just so you can hear every update as they're happening.
In the award letter sent last week, it has a big emphasis on the project must be constructed and operated in accordance with the scope of work submitted as part of your application. Do you believe we have that scope of work in a good place to where we don't have to do any major changes? Of course, we have the option to request for changes.
Yeah, 100%. I think everything is fully in line with the way it was originally scoped. I see no issues complying with that.
There's an article in the agreement that outlines the requirements for annual audit reports and progress reports. So I guess starting with Amanda, is that something that Region 4 will handle with the commission on our side? Then of course, I guess in collaboration with CityNet.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. So we'll take care of any progress reports, quarterly reports, things like that. And then we'll help the commission make sure that they're up to date on their audits. But as long as you're up to date on your audits, I don't see that being the issue. But yeah, we'll absolutely help move forward with those progress reports and quarterly reports.
And CityNet is, we've got 3 projects under our belt now, so we're fully, understanding of the USDA requirements for those reports. Gabby Burke in our department, she does all of that. So Amanda Gabby will be your lead with us on that.
And then my biggest concern, and in fact, John Stump's biggest concern, is the collateral of this project. There is a form letter that I think is standardized as Schedule 2 of this agreement on collateral, and it states all personal property, assets, rights, and fixtures of the co-awardees acquired with the award funds. And so I think that addresses that it's all strictly the project-specific materials. But then in another portion of the agreement that actually I don't have stubbed, it mentioned all property owned basically by the commission, and so I want to clarify that it is only project specific, because obviously we cannot put up the courthouse, we cannot put up the annex legally, and we're not going to put ourselves in a bind in financial means for this project, but I believe that's handled. But I know that's something that Mr. Stump's working as well, but if anything, to put that on the record that we're aware and he's aware, and hopefully we'll get a straight answer on that.
Mr. Dean will be checking on that too, because it does changes our obligations since we're a co-awardee. So those guys can work on that together and then hopefully get us an answer if we need to have any recommendations for changes with the USDA. Something that Commissioner Cole asked me the other night is what about those addresses that are outside this project? So those will probably happen through BEAD, because there'll obviously be some addresses still left unserved. So probably next week or the week after, the public comment will come out for the recommendations from the West Virginia Office of Broadband on who their recommendation of ISP is for those addresses.
And for example, Commissioner Roberts, like I noticed, like in the territories of Canvas, Poe, and Birch River, just random dots. This project actually cannot connect people in between. That's kind of hoping that we could work that out. But either way, we're also in line to see if we can get those BEAD funds
So we'll know more when that comes out.
Is that something that's probably being addressed or potentially addressed by RDOF currently?
It could be, it could be. Yeah, you can't, like, you
guys
can't
can't
use
run
federal
parallel or
funds, they
cross,
can't
right?
take it, they can't cross. So anything, the whole goal of BEAD is at the end of that, every address that's left considered un or underserved will have access to that service. So anything that was left at the time outside of anything that was currently funded, and the state looked at this as a currently funded project, anything left out of that, BEAD will address.
And if we look at un and underserved, that doesn't mean that they don't have internet, that just means they don't have high-speed internet. if I remember
Right,
correctly.
FCC considers them
Correct.
un or underserved, yep. So,
It's the speed of the broadband, so
Yep.
it doesn't necessarily
Yep.
mean that they don't have internet,
Right.
it's just they don't have high-speed internet.
Right, right.
Whatever the
Yeah.
requirement
So
is.
that will come out for public comment in a week, 2 weeks maybe, hopefully next week. And then Kelly Workman at the state office has to submit that no later than September the 4th to the NTIA.
Do we have any concerns about environmental at this time?
Everything's in the air.
Not that I'm aware of, Eric, correct me if I misspeak here, but as far as I know, everything is anticipated to be aerial. I mean, there's always an option that you may have to set a new pole here or there, but it should all be in existing right-of-ways, so I don't see any reason, or we don't see any reason to be concerned with the environmental. And Eric, correct me if I misspoke.
You're exactly correct. I actually asked Richard Jenkins that verbatim question on Tuesday this week. I guess that was yesterday. And, you know, things change. Obviously, you know, we're expecting everything to be aerial on existing poles, but, you know, you're going to run into situations. We just handle those on a case-by-case basis. It's nothing different than what we've done on our other projects with them. If anything changes, we address it. And like Amanda said, if it's on existing right-of-way, you get categorical exclusion because it's already a pre-served area, so there should be no issues. It's only going to be if we're trying to bury across, you know, a field or something like that is where something's going to come into play, which is very, very, very unlikely.
And then Amanda, a question specifically for you. This whole proposed 50/50 grant loan refers to an LLC, but I guess that's an amendable document where we can add, of course, I mean, I guess city would be the LLC, but then also the Nicholas County Commission on all these, basically all of these documents. Yes.
Correct, yeah. Yeah, so it should be the commission, and the building commission will be involved as well, but yeah, it'll be the commission and city.
Yeah, I was trying to find that real quick. So they define unserved as less than 25 meg down and 3 meg up, and underserved as less than 100 meg down and 20 up. So a lot of those folks probably do have some sort of DSL or some sort of antiquated. So probably don't have as big a gaps as it appears on that. And then hopefully in the future, you guys will have enough capacity, but then, because I know that we had some concerns about the, and we had clarified, that's the last time I texted over to you, about going from 24 pair to I think 12 pair in a lot of areas. But that was just going out to the end customer, not the actual main path through, so we had some clarification on that. So there should be.
Yeah, 100%. Everything that we do, we make sure that we don't design just necessarily for exactly what's there today, but we do plan for future growth. So, you know, if something needs 12 fibers today, we're obviously not going to just put in 12 fibers. We'll upgrade it to 24. And then beyond that, we pretty much standardize on 144 count fiber. If it requires strands, then we just go ahead and put 144 in instead of just putting a 48 count or something like that. So there's going to be ample opportunity for growth and expandability on the network.
And I think that's a good plus or a positive in this partnership and what we're investing into the county is there is a lot of room for growth in there. So, you know, if folks decide they want to come on board later on, there is, you know, it's not going to be a redesign and build capacity back through. That'll be there ready, just hopefully just a
Businesses
plug and
come in,
play.
need more capacity.
Right.
Yeah, we're ready.
And then as far as the awardee, I know it's a co-award, but as far as the financial responsibility, that falls solely on the county commission, right? If I read this correctly.
The loan is in your name, yeah, and then the revenue of the project pays that back,
Right.
so.
The one thing I actually didn't necessarily understand in all this 20 trees of paper is it was always my understanding that this was a revenue-based payback on the debt service. And so I guess that would also just be another thing that I believe we would want to make sure of, that, you know, if, for example, the customer base provides $5,000 a year and the debt service would normally be 10, that's going to be accommodated.
Yeah.
So basically, there's not a shortfall that the commission or city net would have to be
Yeah,
taking
those
out.
things all come, after this document, then we'll sit down and you look at an operation and maintenance agreement, some of those things.
Okay. And I noticed with this document, I was talking to John Tuggle, there is actually a 3-year forbearance on interest. We end up paying it,
Right.
but the interest will not start start being due until 3 years. So hopefully we can be built out by then and actually have some revenue based.
It's deferred, not waived.
Right.
Yep.
I think that's all I have.
Eric, do you have anything else?
I do not. Nope.
I have a question. Next steps for the commission.
I
We wanna
think
make
right
sure that we're
now,
staying ahead of
we're
everything.
it's in both of our attorneys' hands, you know, so once we get to an agreement there, and if there's any changes, we'll send it back to USDA. Once we get the grant or the document executed, then funds can start flowing, but I think everything's working on both CityNet and Region 4's end, so I think at this point, getting these documents, so staying in touch with your legal counsel is on your to-do list.
We just want to make sure we're not a stumbling block or a hurdle or
Oh,
or
no,
a
no,
barrier.
and
for
then like I
anything.
said, I'll come up anytime you want me to, but, once things get progressing, we'll have, our other meetings are on Tuesday, so I would anticipate that being when Richard was just scheduled that meeting right in conjunction with our others.
Concerning Bede, we had a short conversation about that.
Yep.
They are about to start awarding.
No, so within the next week or 2 weeks, because Kelly Workman has to give a 14-day public comment period. So that will come out very soon. It has to, because she must submit West Virginia's plan to NTIA no later than September 4th. So if you back that out, you're looking at, we're hoping the end of next week, the beginning of the following week. And then she'll submit that, and we will see, but the federal government says by the end of the year, they want to approve those, all state plans, so. We'll see.
From CityNet's standpoint, do you think that will be any hindrance with taking on those other projects to get this one completed?
No, Eric has done a phenomenal job at putting up many tools in our toolbox and being prepared for the projects that we're taking on. Wouldn't you feel comfortable saying that, Eric?
Yeah, and that, that was really the whole crux of my email from, last week before last was, I'm tasked with making sure that everything that we have to do gets done. And this was this wild card that was sitting there that we knew was on the table, but we didn't know if it was available for, us to partake in or not. So, obviously, now that we've got this, the agreements and everything, we know that it is going to happen. And I am currently working it into our schedule, making sure that we have the resources to not only get this project done, but to get every other project that we've got done and plan for future projects as well. So, yeah, 100%.
And based on what you guys are seeing right now, what would you anticipate as the start and finish date for the physical part of things, the actual outside-ish?
So it's all going to depend on when, how long the lawyers take to get everything inked. But let's just play some numbers right now. Let's just say that we were able to get started November 1st, because I know we've got some things that we're wrapping up. And let's just say we start the field work November 1st. It's probably going to take a solid year to get everything to the point of where we could probably get some construction started. So I would, again, last thing I really want to do is start throwing out dates and stuff, because, someone's going to say, well, on August 6th, you said that we'd be at this point. But just general statements, I think, roughly a year to get everything ready for construction, and then, construction following that.
The 1 year on lead time, I mean, is that lead on equipment, lead on engineering, all the above?
There's so much, the engineering is what I'm saying is gonna take, roughly a year, engineering, permitting, and this is going through all the stuff that we know with whole permitting right now.
Right.
And that's start to finish, and obviously it's not a true linear project. Some areas may be ready before others, but in general,
That's probably how I should ask
when
that
you
question.
start-
1 year construction ready, and then when that takes place versus putting dates on it, what are we looking at for construction complete? I asked that question correctly. That way you're not held to dates.
I get it. I think you're looking at, another year or so for construction to take place.
Okay.
I mean, granted, I think this project's got a 4-year window. We don't want to wait and use up the entire window. We don't have
Right.
to. But then that entire window also covers, everybody connecting to the network. So, for example, we're finishing up a project in Wetzel County right now. And the construction timeline was similar to what I just mentioned, but now we're in the phase of connecting people. And, we may connect 5 people this month, 2 people the next month, 20 people the next month. But that money is still being used to connect those service locations.
And it's very hard for residents to understand. They're like, why can't you just go and put fiber up? This should happen quickly. I listen to that probably more than, just being in the public. And, we're at so many people's mercy, DOH,
Right.
SHPO, the pole owners, things. So, Eric can have the best laid plans, but someone can easily throw a wrench into that and cause many, many months worth of delays.
And then the one wild card that we just don't know right now, and really it's going to depend on nationwide what happens with BEAD, is really what the lead time and the availability of material is going to be. I mean, to be perfectly honest with you, we just don't know. In talking to our suppliers, they're trying to get prepared, but they're also, like Corning Glass, for example, to the fiber. I mean, they're not ramping up production on prospect. So they basically are only going to make as much fiber as they have orders for. And until the BEAD stuff comes out and gets solidified, we don't know. But if it hits, there could be some delays on some materials. But we just don't know. It's just kind of a wild card.
And I think that's probably more anticipated now than when we first thought of BEAD, because West Virginia was in the running to be one of the first 5 states to have it submitted. Well, then everything changed, revamped, and it helps us in terms of some of the permitting, environmental things like that. But now everybody across the nation is due September the 1st. So now everybody's jockeying for the same, fiber, the same construction crews. So.
And one thing, just like I think we've agreed on this as a commission as a whole for the past couple of years, any resources that we can use local, we like that. We like to keep our money local. So anything that we are able to provide locally, we appreciate you guys use that if we can. And we don't want that to be a time delay or a barrier. So when Quanta comes in, if they can pull some other folks, that helps us out. So about a year-ish for construction ready, and about a year and a half once that starts. That's that's more what I was looking for, just a guesstimate. Talking points.
In the project designation document, it talks about the USDA has the right to expend money to do a number of different things, procuring insurance and payment of taxes and so on and so forth. But I guess, Amanda, this would be a question for you. With the commission's involvement, is this a tax project with being co-awardee?
I think that's something that we'll have to work through on the legal side of things. We can definitely figure that out and get an answer for you.
I guess that's the second phase of the question, yeah. Right. Right. And then there's talk of insurance on the project, but that's reason for saying that you're probably familiar with taking care of all that. That's not something the commission itself would be necessarily involved in.
think that's usually provided by the contractor.
Yeah.
When it gets to your questions about taxes and things like that, those would be great in case they impact that, any of the agreement. I would go through your, what you call it, 20 trees and see if there's any questions, and that would give all of them to John at one time. Because as you've seen, anytime we send anything back to the USDA for any type of change, it takes months to
Right.
get back. So that way, I think we've asked our attorney to do the same thing. So that
Capture
way,
everything at once.
Yep.
Yes, and hopefully it's just questions, not revisions.
Yes.
Because you're right, it's a slow process.
Because Richard does, he's, in the last, 2 weeks that we've talked about this, talks about ASAP of, executing, but, that's easy for them to say it's out on their end. Now, you need to do your due caution, and we do too.
Right.
So.
Right.
Believe it or not, I'm done.
And you did take your 30 minutes.
It took 32 minutes. Did pretty good. That's why, council.
He was proving us wrong.
You're within 30.
Oh, okay, well, whatever.
Anything else from you?
Nope, nothing.
Anything else from any of you online? Okay, well, we thank you all. Good to see you again.
I'll be here with Kathy for next one. It's
Okay.
all things broadband.
Great,
All things
great, let's do it.
broadband. It's funny how that worked out. That's right. Convenient. Yes.
All right, well, let's just move right on into our next one. And we have Cassie, Cassandra, however she'd like to do the first, to talk to us about the Hinkle Mountain project. We'll start with that. Resolution number 22.
If we could ask, Resolution 22, the time extension request, change order number 1, and the budget amendment line, agenda item, those all kind of compound together. So I'll just kind of address them collaboratively, and then if you need to approve them individually, but I think it will make more sense if I kind of talk about them all at once. So previously, we had talked for the Hinkle Mountain broadband project that construction needed to be complete prior to the end of August. Everything is in motion. We have some fine details to pin down today. We're sitting that with Melissa and Eric for things on their end. Quanta is actively under construction. They have been up on the mountain, but we are going to need some additional time. So we have coordinated very closely with the development office, and we believe we have everything in motion to actually get the time period for the grant extended to June 2026. We don't anticipate that we're going to need that much time. Again, you have 2 grants for this project. One was made in 2017, one in 18. The 17 grant has already been extended through June 2026, so we're just kind of trying to track this project the same.
What's the reason for delay?
Right.
Eric might be able to help some with that. I think just the time it takes to actually purchase materials, mobilize, it's just taken
Because that's a
longer
very
than-
specific question that we very specifically asked their representative when we were on the call that day. Do they see any
Absolutely.
hurdles in completing that in a timely manner? We were told no. At all. Do you remember that?
Yes, sir.
Yep. So what we don't want to do is have a contractor come in that can't meet the requirements, and especially if we give them another year, is it going to take another year and that type of thing?
I'm gonna jump
We
in.
absolutely-
Yeah, they do lots of work for us.
Understood.
Yeah, and so it's been superior work. So, I don't know all the details with what happened with TNL, because we're just the ISP, so we're not ingrained in the day-to-day as much as some of the other projects like we will be on Reconnect. So I don't know what all TNL's conversations have been with Quanta, but some of it was, getting the signatures back and forth with TNL and Quanta under that, and then in the mobilization. And then, Eric, I don't know if you've talked to Mark Chapman for Quanta.
What I don't want to have is a
Collaborate.
contractor stepping in, grabbing up all work, can't do it.
No,
I mean, we're seeing
yeah.
that in other aspects with, RDOF money and things like that.
We're not concerned.
So if we're
with that
asking for a
part.
1-year extension, I mean, I
I
get
think
the
the
best to
1
ask
year
for
is
type thing.
to help them with timelines to align. They don't need that. I think the 1 year making that the same timeline as the other grant is why that timeline was.
I just have a grave concern when we asked that question directly and we were told no. And I mean, now we are 31 minus 6 is 25 days out, and we are facing they're mobilizing and starting to scout and do things. I mean, if they're overburdened with work, that's definitely not our battle to fight and push for.
I think one thing to help clarify, change order number 1, Quanta is only asking for an extension for substantial completion to September 23rd with final payment ready for approval by October 23rd. So they fully anticipate, having construction complete before November, but we still need to ask for additional time because we need to actually be able to process those payments. We'll have final reporting that we need to do.
Yeah, the 1 year is not my concern. It's why not August 31st.
Can we see change order number 1 by chance?
Yes. And I'm so sorry. I brought you copies of all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, that's why I can't do the deadline.
Eric, while she's giving copies, can you chime in on that, any from Quanta's perspective? I don't know, Mark's
So, I do know of one issue. So we were, CNET was not privy to, we didn't get the plans and stuff really until everything was awarded. And once we got the plans and started looking at some things, we determined that we needed loop locations for access points in different places than where TNL had put them. So we made that modification. I would anticipate that modification to the plan would justify just some re-coordination efforts on Quanta's behalf. Again, I think, what are they asking for, Cassie? 30 days, 45 days? I don't know what they're asking for.
I think about 30 days.
Yeah, so I mean, I think it's a little premature to say that, they're doing a bait and switch or something like that, so.
No, if we don't have any other information, that's my question is, what is the reason? What's the very specific reason that they didn't meet the deadline that they sat here and told us they could make? I mean, there was no concern at all.
TNL probably should be here to answer that
Absolutely.
question.
Yes, whoever has that answer, I'd appreciate that. Especially if we're looking to work with them on other projects as well.
What was your deadline of the original grant? It was sometime in September.
It was August 30th.
August 30th?
Yeah,
Yeah.
which was honestly a very tight
Absolutely.
timeframe.
That's
It
why
was
I asked
very
that question
tight.
that day.
Yeah, twice.
Yep. I was given a very specific answer. I'm just saying, until we have that specific answer, I'm just the mind starts to wonder what's the reason
Right.
here.
That raises concerns, not answers.
Absolutely. And it's not to put anybody on guard or defense, just, specifically why.
Can you set us up, Cassie, maybe a?
I can
a
certainly-
meeting in TNL or something?
Yeah, absolutely.
Cassie, when you do that, can you make sure Eric is invited as well?
Yes, for sure. We can put together some narrative to explain. But we would ask your consideration of the change order today, as the project is under construction and on a critical path to completion, but we will be happy to run down some additional information.
Quanta's the contractor.
Correct.
I mean, they do have their materials now.
Yes.
We
They're
can,
on, you said they're on the mountain working, yeah?
Yes, yeah.
we can say they're on site even.
Yes,
Okay.
yeah.
Are
Our
they
good
having any
friend-
kind of weekly meetings?
They are going to have their first progress meeting. Thompson and Litton is setting that up, and we did ask that they loop you into that. It's not, critical that you are there or required, but we wanted to make sure that you were in the loop so that if you did want to attend, that you had the information. So if that hasn't come to you, it should be coming to you.
And that's when?
I can't remember off the top of my head when it's scheduled.
They'll do regular progress meetings and on-site visits, TNL should.
There will
And they
probably,
should provide you notes from that.
We're literally down to the wire here. I mean, it's just,
but again, we do believe that we have all the mechanisms in place to have the grant period extended. That kind of rolls into the budget amendments. We have budget amendment number 4 for the 17 grant and budget amendment number 3 for the 18 grant. All we are doing is removing our administrative fees from the 18 grant and putting them in the 17 grant and adjusting construction accordingly. So in the 18 grant, we're taking out our admin, increasing construction. In the 17 grant, we're putting our admin in and decreasing construction. So the overall budget for admin and construction does not change. We're just changing which grant our admin is in. And that's part of easing the process to facilitate the time extension. So, and this gets kind of convoluted, and I don't know that I'll do the best job at explaining, but I will try my best. The development office, say Webster Springs PSD has a draw, and those funds come from a 2019 allocation. The development office can take the old funds from this project, spend it through, you know, a project that is having like a larger draw of funds, and then backfill it with that newer allocation.
I think we've done that a couple times, haven't we?
We have,
Based
we
on
did that
dates,
on the
right.
17 grants. We're doing the same exact thing, and removing our admin from the 18 grant and putting it in the 17 grant just makes that process easier. And so that is, you know, the budget amendment is, it's not really increasing or decreasing any line items overall if you look at the,
Right, just a shift of funds.
yep, the budget comprehensively. And so that covers the change order, the budget amendments, and then we do have resolution number 22, and that does include pay estimate number 1 for Quanta in the amount of $74,501.42. And the entirety of that is actually for storage materials. While they are actively under construction, we have not received their first pay estimate for like construction activities as of yet. And that's probably just because it wasn't within the cycle of their billing.
Just want to say, is Corey Nicker with you all?
Tina?
Okay. Corey?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes. How are you this morning?
Doing good. How about you all?
Corey, I understand that you're with Thompson and Litton?
Yes.
Okay. Just one moment.
Corey, I'll go ahead and chime in here real quick. This is Cassie. How are you this morning?
Doing good. How about yourself?
Doing well. We are going through the process of taking all the steps necessary to extend the time period for the Hinkle Mountain project. And we've presented Quanta's change order number 1, and the commission has asked what necessitated the need for the time extension for Quanta, outside of, I think, the original, whatever the original period of performance was.
Gotcha. So there was a work change directive that was issued. We had presented that. I believe Cassie presented it to you all. And it was through coordination with CityNet. It was an attempt to basically, the idea is the project would cost less. We would reduce the fiber count from 144 down to 12 count in some areas. That's the gist of it. And when I presented that to Quanta, talked to them about it, they said that they had already actually purchased the 144 count fiber. So they would need to do a change order in order to go acquire the additional 12 count fiber. So there would be no cost savings in that. So we issued a field order reverting it back to 144 count fiber to, therefore there would be no change order for money involved. But because of that little back and forth there, they weren't able to start on construction when they had originally intended to. And so they had requested, and it was an additional, it wasn't exactly, if I'm not mistaken, the change order they just sent was for 40 days. I'll have to double check it, but they had sent us like some not round numbers, and we looked at it and talked to them about it, and so we landed on what was presented, and they firmly believe they'll be able to get the project done before then. They just wanted to be safe preemptively since they weren't able to start when they originally intended to.
You satisfied with that?
And then lastly, we do also have a time extension request, requesting that the grant be extended through June 2026. And so
Did
that
you give it to
covers
us?
that one.
Did you do that? Where did that date come from?
June 30, 2026.
I mean, where did 10 months away come from? I mean, why didn't you just go so to the end of the year or something?
Just to coincide with the 17 grant. Typically they run July 1 through June 30. That's kind of
Fiscal
like their
year.
standard issuance.
So you did it on the fiscal year? with what you-
Yeah.
That makes sense.
If Quanta would come back and say, well, we need till after 8/24/2025, they have to come back before us.
Mhm. With a formal change order for additional.
So the grant
If that's
itself
the
is
case-
extended, not them.
Correct. Their contract is based off
They're on
of
it.
what's indicated on that change order. The grant is separate.
Commissioner, that gives time for turn-ups and for Region 4 to do their paperwork.
Okay, yeah, construction, 9/20, you're right, 9/23.
September 23rd.
And then final payment 10/23. It'd be my only request that, I mean, I'm okay here, but if we need another time extension, I would want Thompson and Litton as well as Quanta in the meeting next time before we give another extension.
So everybody's here then.
Pardon?
So everybody's here then.
Right, absolutely. We just want broadband. I think we all want broadband.
And so that covers all of the Hinkle Mountain related items, with the exception of the discussion regarding the communication hut. That's something that Eric will be taking the lead on. So again, this covers resolution number 22, the time extension request, change order number 1, and the budget amendments.
So
If you'd like us to recap on any of those, if you'd like to approve them
can we hear what
individually or
the
together.
communication hut problem is here? I don't
Sure.
understand.
Eric, if you want to go ahead and jump into the hut, CityNet will need access, and we've talked about that some with John McGinnis, but there's some additional details to work out.
I'm really struggling here. Eric, can you give an update on what we need from the hut? Oh, you're talking now.
You're muted.
There you go.
Sorry, I was having trouble hearing Cassie, kind of anticipating that. So am I correct, we're talking about access into the hut?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So, couple of things. As far as I understand, the county commission owns the assets, the hut, I guess, the fenced-in area. Talking about the hut itself, we're gonna locate our equipment inside that hut. So we need to know what kind of agreement we need to work with the county, that would cover us having access in the hut. Our anticipated power demand is gonna be somewhere around $100 a month, inside that hut. So that's the first thing. Then the second thing we need is
Eric,
access.
if I could ask you real quick, I'm sorry. Now, you're talking about in our actual structures there, or you just want to build your facilities inside the fence?
No. In the actual, the new communication shelter that is immediately adjacent to the tower.
And what's,
Should add a rack or something there?
Yeah, we'll add a rack, we'll bring our fiber into that. That will be where our communication equipment, all of our electronic gear is housed, is in that hut. One of our field technicians met with, Cassie, you'll have to help me out, who he met with.
John McGinnis.
John McGinnis went there, scoped it out, everything is more than adequate, there's more than adequate space in there. We just need to get access into it, so we just need to work through that with you. If we can't do that, then we're gonna have to locate our equipment within the fenced area, which is gonna cost more, it's gonna take more time. Obviously, the logical thing to do is to utilize that. That's been the concept all along.
right. I don't have a concern about that necessarily, but just.
That's a
I
D-Mark?
just like
Is
to
that,
put
that's where we're gonna hand over from us to y'all?
Because honestly,
So the equipment you're putting in, that's something y'all own for your side, or that's something the commission owns on our side?
Well, it will be, it's gonna be owned by, it's gonna be paid for and installed by the grant.
Right.
We will be operating it, of course, but I mean, it's all part of the grant. But, as part of the operation and maintenance agreement, we need access into that. you know, we're gonna need, obviously, to put the rack in there, power, get our fiber into it.
And I guess my question was on that, is if it's county owned, then we would be responsible for the power to it as part of this project.
We can work that out however you want to do that. I mean, we figure it's gonna, a standalone site for us, the power bill's roughly about $100 a month.
Right.
But you know, you've already got AC running, you've already got that stuff,
Right.
so there's gonna be some shared costs. So I would say we're probably gonna add $50, $60 a month to the power bill.
And there's plenty of footprint in there for that growth, and then if we needed to add anything or do anything like that, yep. I mean, I think it's a good partnership.
This is for the Hinkle Mountain project. I can't imagine a great amount of growth in the Hinkle Mountain area that would warrant outgrowing, what that hut could sustain.
All right.
In worst case, that's always something we gotta address down the road, I'm assuming, with
Right.
additional structure or something like that. What I would say is, in an effort of expediting this, involve our legal counsel and Director McGinnis to try and get something put together for that no later perhaps than the next meeting.
It's gonna probably put a delay on the construction.
I think it will be separate.
What?
Eric, I mean, so how long we take to figure out this communication, how we call it here, does that delay construction? Can they get construction around it?
No, so their construction's going, so
Return
the second component of that is we've got to get the fiber. Are the three of you familiar with that site? I mean, if I start talking about the site, you're
Yes.
gonna know, okay. So on the opposite side of the road is where the pole line is. Then there's a line that comes across, there's a single pole access drop for power at the corner of the fence.
Right.
So our fiber will follow that same route, drop down, and then we need to go around the fence, either inside the fence or outside the fence, to get into the hut. So, you know, we're gonna need an easement from either the county commission if you own the property, or if you're leasing the property, we may need an easement from the private property owner. I couldn't ascertain who owns it from the property viewer online. So
It is leased property. It's a fairly broad lease inside the fence.
So
But
that
perhaps to
might be
maybe
able to
just,
piggyback on that.
I want to believe so. I know it's, yes. So maybe in an effort to expedite, perhaps pending legal counsel's agreement, we could approve the usage of the communication hut pending all easement right away and final agreement on the actual lease itself, pending legal review and recommendation.
Yeah, construction can take place. This will not slow down construction in any way. We just, until we can get access to that, we won't be able to put our equipment, I say our equipment, the equipment in the hut, until, we get all that worked out. So, yeah, that works.
Corey, would you like to chime in? Is there anything that you've heard here you have any comments on, concerns?
Negative, nothing up front. I will say that while we haven't had a scheduled progress meeting or anything with Quanta on this project as of yet, I do meet with them, just met with them Monday on another project at their warehouse, and if I'm not mistaken, they finished up the buried portion on Hinkle. Obviously, they haven't charged for it. We haven't been out in the field and verified it, but it's an update for you all.
Corey, when will the first progress meeting be held? Do you know? Is it scheduled?
It is, I'm trying to find it in front of me here. I get my calendar open. If I'm not mistaken, we're looking to have it August 25th, unless they have substantial completion before then and notify us of it, which I expect that to occur.
So pretty much what you're saying is construction may be done before you even get to that point?
Yes, I think that's what they anticipate, and based on working with them, I would say that's probably accurate.
If it is to be held, where would that be held?
Their warehouse is in Flatwood, so definitely not there. I was gonna talk to them about it closer time, and approximately 2 weeks out, send an email out to everybody, including the county commission, just informing them of the location and the time. I'd say it's probably gonna be at the project area.
Okay, that's all.
Yeah, that's everything I've got, unless y'all have any questions for me.
I make a motion that we approve Hinkle Mountain Broadband Project Resolution number 22 in the amount of $74,501.42. Make a motion that we approve change order number one. They're rolling on first.
I was gonna say, would you want to roll through all of them?
Make a motion that we approve change order number 1 to extend the contract time by 30 days. Calendar days, that takes us out from 8/24/2025 to 9/23/2025. And then on the final will be 9/23/2025 to 10/23/2025. And then I make a motion that we approve the utilization of the communications hub pending legal review, if there are any easements or anything like that required. If not, they move forward on that.
And pending, the final agreement of the, basically lease or shared space agreement.
Whatever the legal terms over.
Okay, we have one motion on the floor covering 4 items. Is there any discussion?
Did you mention the budget amendment?
No, we did not. How about that one? Make a
And
motion
maybe
we
the
approve the
time-
budget amendment
And the time extension request.
and the time extension request. We got all kinds of motions.
Whatever Cassie wants,
Yes.
I think we're okay with this time.
We're just trying to get broadband.
Hey, good. That's
Thank you.
right.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion has carried.
Commissioners, I'm gonna sign off here, but I do want to say that it's been a long time getting to this stage of this project. Cassie and I have worked on this project for many years. To be perfectly honest with you, I don't know that any of the 3 of you were on the commission when this project was first started. So it's been a long time to get to where we're at. So very happy that we're here.
And we definitely appreciate the partnership of Region 4, Plan Development, CityNet, and TNL, and Quanto, when they finish this stuff up. Definitely appreciate the, like I said, they've been waiting for years and years and years. I don't remember when that even started, but I'm looking forward to moving into this B project as well.
The yellow one.
Thank you, guys. You make it easy for us to just make motions and sign papers and stay somewhat informed.
Good.
Thanks for
Thank you,
answering the
Mayor.
questions.
Yes, and thanks for jumping on board there, Court. Or on.
Yes,
on your
thank
list.
you all.
Yes, sir.
There should be 2.
Bye, Commissioners.
You're right, see you. You got all that? You good?
Me?
Good.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
great. Good to go.
Thumbs up.
We're waiting for a book report.
Great.
Absolutely.
I need you to repeat that back.
Verbatim. Right, Mac?
What?
Okay.
Make sure they're right.
I really do. So, you sit around and get somebody to help out with you.
Let me get all these sticks.
We're gonna continue going through it.
We done, Cassie?
I did, if you had time, I wanted to ask you about something unrelated to the agenda, but
Okay, go ahead, let's stop. Okay, we're back. The next item on our bid is a request for a resolution, and we just gave it to our legal counsel review, so we're gonna amend the agenda and move that up. And now we're going to talk with Amanda Workman Scott.
Actually, Grace Lawson. I'm here at Amanda's place.
Sorry, we can't doesn't have your name on it. She's here with Community Engagement, West Virginia Community Development Hub, U.S. Department of Agriculture's Rural Community Development Initiative Grant.
Yes. Before I get into the details, I just want to say on a personal note, I grew up in southern West Virginia, and now I live between Fayetteville and Summersville. And I'm very excited about this project. I work with the Hub as a community coach here at Amanda's place. She had an eye appointment and couldn't make it this morning. I'm gonna read a little bit just because there's a lot of information, so don't mind that. So the Hub, in case you're not familiar, is a nonprofit. We work with communities in West Virginia to help build up local leaders, spark change. We're actually working in Summersville right now through one of our programs called Accelerate West Virginia. Marianne Taylor's on the team. They're doing incredible work. It's been great to see. So the Hub is applying for the USDA's Rural Community Development Initiative to build a regional collaborative focused on communities in the New River Gorge region. I'm here with 2 requests today. The first is that you support the project with a letter of support, and then the second is for a match commitment letter. We're not asking for the money today, we just need a commitment of the funding. Each county involved is putting forth match funding commitments that aligns with their population. So for Nicholas County, we're asking for $10,000 that would be paid out over the course of 3 years. And so I'm going to read a little bit just to talk about how that money will be put back into your communities in Nicholas County. The NRG Towns Initiative is an economic diversification that targets now 11 communities across Fayette, Raleigh, Summers, and Nicholas counties. It's modeled after successful regional efforts like Forest Towns, PA Wilds, and Canal Towns in Maryland. And it's building on the momentum created by our region's designation as the newest U.S. national park. The effort ultimately aims to drive regional collaboration in the New River Gorge. Working groups will focus on housing readiness, workforce development, outdoor recreation, tourism-related entrepreneurship, and downtown revitalization. The project aims to create a shared regional brand identity that will complement individual community efforts and the regional wayfinding strategy to connect all participating towns. Through this initiative, NRG Towns will form a governance to ensure equitable representation for all communities, and we will utilize community engagement sessions to build public trust and shape shared regional goals. The project supports housing development by helping towns understand and access affordable housing tools, reuse vacant and abandoned properties, and develop or update housing inventories or plans. Additionally, the Hub and partners in the program will provide business coaching, hospitality training, and outdoor recreation related sectors, technical assistance and community coaching, regional coordination across partners, and grant readiness training. There will be a focus on placemaking to enhance each community's character and visitor experience. So while we're going to draw inspiration from PA Wilds and Mon Forest Towns, we're not going to copy and paste that. We're going to work with communities to shape NRG Towns into the next iteration of the work that they've already started. So the sticky part is that this application is due tomorrow, and we need a letter of support today if you choose to do that, and we would also appreciate the match commitment letter today as well, if you agree to that. I'm happy to answer any questions. I might not have all of the answers. I was asked to do this last week and have learned as much as possible in that time, but
What other counties have already committed?
all of them. Fayette said yes this morning, Raleigh said yes yesterday, and then Summers is also on board.
Both sides, letter of support, letter of financial support.
Yes, all of the counties are. And I would say that Summersville already signed on with a letter of support, and the mayor is in full support of this project as well.
You said it's a 3-year. How often do your listening sessions or your information gathering sessions take place, and how big is that team?
I looked over the timeline, and if I'm remembering correctly, we'll have community engagement sessions once a quarter. But we'll be doing a lot of those hospitality trainings, and our GRDA is going to provide those trainings. They're called Zing trainings. And we'll be doing a lot of community coaching and training and helping folks that want to start businesses in the region. We've already started a brand identity with Oak Hill, Smithers, Montgomery, Fayetteville, and Hinton, and that will be expanded to all the other communities that will be involved in the project.
What's that called? What's the ID?
It's just NRG Towns.
Okay.
I wish I had a picture of
Oh,
it.
you
It
did,
looks
yeah.
really cool.
And what would you say your top 3 goals are for that 4-county region? You're developing and transitioning into what? What's the end product look
Are
like?
you familiar with Mon Forest Towns? It really is to help with collaboration between all the communities. It's kind of the idea that a rising tide raises all ships. So if we're all in this together, especially with the national park, especially with their new state park, that we will all be working together on projects and not in silos and duplicating efforts. It also really boosts economic development in the towns that are involved. Mon Forest Towns, all of the towns involved have seen great growth and an influx of money coming into their areas and tourism.
And this actual specific leg of hub has been in existence how long? Like your specific project here?
I'm sorry.
So you're following your hub, and this is a specific 4-county initiative that started when?
That's a great question. We run another program called HubCap, and that started, I think, 3 years ago. And so another community coach on staff named Stacy has been working with Oak Hill, Smithers, and Montgomery. And they all started the idea of working together and being a collaborative in the region, specifically for the national park, probably 3 years ago. And they are working on that brand identity. And so then when this grant came up, we talked about trying to include the entire region and bring people into that.
What's the total request on the grant?
I don't know the final number. I know it's close to $400,000, and all of that money will go back into the communities involved. Even the $10,000 we're asking for from you all will go right back into your communities. Yeah.
But I'm assuming that whatever the team is, the salaries that facilitate that team, that money will be taken out of the $400K in their match.
Yes, but all of the work will be here. So like I'm a community coach and I will be here, boots on the ground in Nicholas County. So my salary is to be here, you know.
And the hub, this is the hub Judy Moore runs.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
This is the hub that Judy Moore runs.
This is Stephanie Tyree. She's the executive director. Judy Moore works for the West Virginia Hive and the New River Gorge Regional Development Authority. We're separate entities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, Stephanie. In our GRD last year, I think her proportion. A couple things she's going through.
A breakdown, maybe you can give me this and you can't. How much of this is to help tourism? How much is it to help economic development? Which they're kind of one and the same, but.
So I'm just gonna like read this list again, if I can find it in my.
No worries.
So workforce development, outdoor recreation, tourism-related entrepreneurship, and downtown revitalization. Those are the focus points of this project. We'll utilize a housing study that NRGRDA already did to help towns that are involved with those affordable housing tools, how to reuse vacant properties, and then maybe update housing inventories and plans. And then we're still working on building out all of the pieces. We usually don't do that until we know if we get the grant because it's a significant amount of work. Even this application is an incredible amount of work. But I don't know percentages, how we'll break that down. A lot of the towns involved will really benefit from this outdoor recreation and tourism business coaching piece. We'll look at strategic pathways so that towns have plans for how they want to grow. So, because they're growing no matter what, it's inevitable. They just need help with a plan for how to do that and how to keep their community with as much character that it has already. And we have a lot of partners in this. One of them is the OEDC that will help greatly with that outdoor recreation piece. The not the USDA, sorry, the NRGRDA, I've said that a million times already. They're a partner, and Brownfields will be a partner as well.
So you'd be solely in Nicholas County?
I'm sorry?
You would be solely in Nicholas County, or you would?
We'll be in the 4-county region.
You particularly?
Oh, me?
Yes.
I'm not sure yet. I'll get an assignment after we find out how it goes.
Yeah, we're trying, and I know you said it's based on population, the match, but we're just trying to determine like what the impact is going to be directly to Nicholas County versus the other three.
Right. That's a really good question, and I can talk to the other people on this and email you with that
It's
information if you want.
curiosity.
Yeah. I think part of this too is making that governance so that every community will have equal representation in this. Now, Mod Forest Towns is an actual nonprofit. They have an executive director, but it started like this,
Right.
where they just formed a governance and everybody had equal voice.
Now, two questions is, how did you come up with the $10,000? I mean, you didn't, but how did they come up with the $10,000?
It's population for each, and I don't know how they did it. I don't work on the financial team for developing the grant application, so.
But do you know what Fayette County approved?
Fayette County approved. I was at the Raleigh County Commission meeting yesterday, and they approved. And for them, because they're the biggest county, they asked for 19.5 from them. So
Okay, and you said the city of Summersville is involved.
Yes.
Do they also come with a grant, or is it just the county?
we haven't asked the cities involved for match at this stage. I'm not sure if we will, but I can also get that information for you if you need it. I can text somebody right now if you want to answer it on here.
Yeah, just advisement, and it's always difficult to say, but just bear with me here till the end. I would definitely engage the cities. When you bring in tourists, when you bring things like that in, that's an impact to the city, not the county. So when you look at county budget, we don't make money when somebody comes in and spends money. We make money on property and real estate, things like that, development. So in the long run with that, when you're looking at an immediate impact, I think the cities would definitely see that. So it'd be good to engage those as a partner. Not saying that we don't benefit, but I think our benefits will be more long run. When somebody decides to open up a business, we reap the financial benefit of that or the impact of it. So definitely not a bad thing, but I think they would definitely probably be on board as well financially.
What about if we give you a letter of support,
Yes.
but we need some more financial information? So we'd like to kind of hold back on that because, and not say anything about you, but you're not answering my questions as to the way we want them answered on the financial.
Okay.
So, the grant part is doing.
Okay. So that wouldn't hold you up on moving forward on your grant, but
A letter of match commitment would be, I don't know, a letter of support is probably the most important, but a match commitment would, that's, and I can, if you want me to, I can get somebody on the phone that can answer the questions in the way that you would need, and I can keep trying to answer your questions. I'm sorry about
You're good. No.
getting there all the way.
Yeah, well, it just, the reason I asked the question, like tourism or economic development, there's two different funds we can take money out of, that would affect that. And how you come up with that figure, because, Raleigh County has 3 times as much, but you only ask them for $10,000 more than even us. You see what I'm saying? So, and the same thing, so like when we work with NRGRDA, it's like $1.20 per citizen. So I'd like to know where your figure came from.
Okay.
And if you want to go answer those questions, get some answers, come back, because we have a whole lot of other stuff we need to do today.
Sure.
So if you want to do that, and then we can, I can say probably we can take a vote right now on the letter of support, but we just want some more financial. So.
I can absolutely do that. Other than figuring out how we got to that 10,000, are there other specific financial questions you need me to answer?
Are the cities going to pay anything? Are we paying for them? Things like that. Yeah, we just a little more specific. We just try to be a little more specific.
I'm happy to do that.
Okay. So we'll take a break and you can go answer those questions and we'll play back.
What I'd recommend maybe even is just, I'll propose a motion to approve a letter of support and to approve a match contribution letter contingent upon a satisfactory report back to the commission of those decisions. And that way it's on the record. And we continue to business.
There's a motion on the floor. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Aye. Motion is carried.
Okay, I'll come back in. Thank you all.
Now, the letter of support, have you written that for us?
Concerning the resolution, asking the Congress to pass legislation to update minors' black lung benefits by calculating the benefits based upon the actual cost of living. This statement does claim there are 203 claimants in Nicholas County. There's no request of the commission. It's basically just saying us to support this consideration of recalculation by the Congress. And so I would make a motion and recommendation of passage for the resolution as presented and amended to correctly reflect upon Senator Justice's correct name.
Okay, there's a motion on the floor, is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion's carried.
Pardon?
Are we meeting with Wendy? Okay.
Excuse me.
Moving on, is there any commissioner comments?
Go ahead.
I've got nothing.
Really? Wow.
Not even on
I don't think I do either. I mean, just one more congratulations and kudos to the Nicholas County Fair. It was a great event and a lot of hard work.
Thank you, Sheriff Evans, for your being there.
Pleasure.
Okay, you want an executive session? Do you want to do that before we close it?
I do want to request an executive session pursuant to West Virginia Code 6-9A concerning personnel matters, and that the commission and legal counsel only retain the room.
Go right now.
Well, that works in, because the commission and legal counsel only, and it's 11:32 a.m.
Sorry, guys, can you give us a few minutes?